What if I told you that the quirky holochess game on the Millennium Falcon isn't just some fun diversion? It's loaded with beasts so ferocious they could take down a whole squad of stormtroopers in a heartbeat. And now, with the new Mandalorian and Grogu trailer showing them in real epic fights, we're about to uncover some galaxy shaking secrets hidden under those holograms. Stick with me because this isn't your typical rundown. We're going deep into battle tactics, wild fan theories, and even tips on how to actually win at Dejarik. Let's dive right in. Welcome back to the Nightmare. I'm the Lore Knight, your host, galactic storyteller, artist, and seeker of the lore, along with SQR3. And today, we're zeroing in on Dejarik, that iconic holographic chess game that's been captivating us since way back in 1977. Now, Dejarik isn't just background filler in the movies, it's a genuine peek into the richer Star Wars lore. And behind the scenes, it was brought to life by the legendary Phil Tippett, who used stop motion puppets for A New Hope, hand sculpting those little monsters out of clay and animating them frame by painstaking frame. Fun fact, years later, his team scanned in those originals to create replicas, which just shows how timeless this stuff really is. In the Star Wars universe itself, Dejarik is everywhere, from CD cantinas to starships zipping through hyperspace, with two players commanding teams of 8 holographic creatures on a circular board. Think of it as chess crossed with brutal gladiatorial combat. No fancy kings or queens, just raw melee brawls where smart positioning and unique special abilities is what seals the victory. Okay, let's break down the basics nice and easy, step by step. The board is a 25 square chess style grid, but with that cool circular design for an alien twist. On your turn, you move one of your creatures up to its speed limit and then launch an attack on any adjacent enemies. The goal? To wipe out all your opponent's pieces or seize control of the center. Classic strategy with a hefty dose of Star Wars flair. Historically, in canon, we've seen it pop up in films like Solo, where lost creatures like the Bulbous and Scrimp show up, even though they didn't make the cut into the original movie. And in the old Legends material, it goes even deeper, with connections to adjacent Sith battles that add layers of intrigue. Quick side note, have you ever stopped to think about how Dejarik might mirror the actual wars in the galaxy? There's this fan theory that is inspired by the Mandalorian Wars, where beasts like this were straight up weaponized in combat. We'll loop back to that later. Oh, and hey, if you're new around here, do me a favor and hit that subscribe button for more deep dives like this. Like the video if you've ever rage quit a board game yourself. Alright, with the basics covered, let's get into the fun part, meeting the monsters one by one. This is where things really heat up. Let's kick things off with the Ghhhk. This bulbous critter looks like a walking farm of pimples, doesn't it? Hailing from the planet Clactor 7, home of the Biff species in both Canon and Legends, these insectoids are straight up apex predators in their ecosystem. Picture a beast with 4 sturdy limbs, all covered with those gross swollen growths that according to Legends lore could actually be milked for healing oil. Talk about natural medkit in the wild. In Dejarik gameplay, the Ghhhk shines as a tanky defender with tons of health, making it ideal for holding the front lines while your other pieces maneuver. Let's walk through how to use it step by step. Move it slowly but deliberately into position, then leverage its regeneration ability to outlast and wear down attackers. It's all about that endurance game. Historically, we first spotted it in A New Hope, but it hasn't had many big appearances since. Still, fan theories suggest its healing properties tie into advanced technology, maybe even the same stuff that powers those musical instruments in the Mos Eisley Cantina. Could they be using the Ghhhk oil as some kind of lubricant? Personally, I'd rather face off against a Sarlacc than try milking one of these. But drop a comment if you'd give it a shot yourself. In Star Wars, it's reminiscent of Minox chewing on power cables for survival. Diving deeper into Legends novels, similar creatures show up in fringe tales, from lowly prey to dominant predators over countless eons. And here's a wild theory. Could Ghhhks have some force sensitivity? Some fans argue their healing vibes hint at midichlorian connections. Alright, that's the Ghhhk. Shifting gears to the Grimtaash. This one's rooted in ancient Alderaan myths. It's about protection and warding off betrayal. In canon, it's closely tied to the royal family. while Legends paints it as a powerful guardian spirit watching over the faithful. Visually, it's a bit ethereal. Imagine a ghostly beast with piercing luminescent eyes that can flash brightly to blind enemies. In the game, its special ability is all about stunning foes, which makes it a fantastic tool for crowd control and disrupting your opponent's plans. Here's how to use it in the game. You should position it strategically near your allies. Activate that blinding flash to disable nearby enemies, and then follow up with coordinated strikes from your team. It's like setting up the perfect ambush. It pops up in comics like The Rise of Kylo Ren, where a young Ben Solo names his ship after it as a nod to Leia's Alderaan heritage. Fan theories get really intriguing here. Some say the Grimtaash flash is a prophetic symbol of destruction, mirroring the blinding blast from the Death Star. Now let's talk about the Houjix. These weird cephalopods come from the homeworld of the grand species. They're basically like electric eels on legs, slithering around and zapping anything that gets too close. In both Canon and Legends, they're known as the loyal guard beasts that deliver shocking jolts to prey or intruders. According to the Jedi Challenges app, they don't have a flashy special ability in Dejarik, but they make up for it with speedy movement, perfect for flanking maneuvers and catching opponents off guard. Use them as scouts to zip ahead, and position for attacks, adjacent enemies to weaken them before the big hit lands. We've seen references to them mostly in app-based roles and tie-ins, but fan theories speculate their electrical powers could connect to something bigger, like Force Lightning. Maybe a Sith experimented with breeding them for dark-side purposes? This links to Grand Society, where they often use trained pets in their crime syndicates, much like the shady dealings we see in The Phantom Menace. The Kintan Strider, the absolute star of that recent Mandalorian trailer. These silicon-based giants hail from the planet Kintan, swinging massive clubs with brutal efficiency. In canon, they're semi-sentient creatures known for their healing abilities. Physically, they're towering and rocky, built like living statues that can shrug off serious damage. In Dejarik, it's one of the heavy hitters, armed and ready. One of only two pieces with a weapon. Charge in for area of effect swings that damage multiple foes, then use it self-healing to stay in the fight longer. Context includes nods in the Book of Boba Fett as a gang name, and in the visual dictionaries as blaster handle designs. But the trailer shows Mando battling one in the arena, which has everyone buzzing. Fan theories suggest Striders were used as Hutt gladiators, potentially foreshadowing big plot twists in the Mandalorian series. Enter the Kalor Slug, a slimy eyeless nightmare straight from the Legends Korriban. Featured in the Old Republic games, these things are pure beast mode, burrowing through the ground like something out of a horror holoflick. In gameplay, they're master ambushers, tunneling under the board to pop up unexpectedly and strike. Activate the burrow ability to hide, and then emerge for surprise attacks that catch your opponent flat-footed. They've appeared as enemies and even companions in the MMO, leading to theories that they were engineered by the Sith for tomb guarding or warfare. The next beast awaits. The Mantellian Savrip comes from Ord Mantell. And unlike most Dejarik pieces, these guys are fully sentient, often depicted with clothes in the game, hinting at their civilized side. In Canon and Legends, they're known as cunning crime bosses and hunters, blending brains with brawn. Gameplay-wise, they're versatile fighters with an able moveset that lets you switch tactics on the fly. Assess the board and use their flexibility to counter threats, and strike where it hurts most. They've shown up in comics and novels. Theories place them as a potential Mandalorian ally, given their underworld connections. Monarchs are spear-wielding hunters from the desert world of Sakara. Solitary and fierce, they're built for taking down prey in harsh environments. In Dejarik, they're attackers, capable of hitting two enemies at once with precise strikes. Maneuver them into range, then unleash that multi-target spear thrust for maximum efficiency. Legends lore paints them as elusive survivors, inspiring theories about their influence on bounty hunting culture. These stinky warbeasts come equipped with retractable claws and a knack for stealth. In Legends, they're referenced in Sith speeder names, hinting at battle-hardened origins. Gameplay focuses on assassination. Hide in the shadows, then slash out with deadly precision. Use stealth to approach undetected, extend claws for high damage strike, and then vanquish again. Appearances are sparse, but the trailer's claw dodging scenes fuel theories of dark side breeding programs. Alright, we've covered all 8 monsters. Now let's shift to strategies. It's all about balancing offense and defense, controlling the center for bonuses, and synergizing your creature's abilities. Think pairing a tank like the Ghhhk with a flanker like the Houjix. Fan theories take it further, suggesting Dejarik is a metaphor for the Clone Wars, with each beast representing different factions or force alignments. Modern modded games lets you play Dejarik digitally, bringing these tactics to life. So there you have it. Dejarik is way more than just a holographic pastime. It's a distilled essence of Star Wars, blending lore, strategy, and those mind-bending connections to the bigger galaxy. Thanks so much for sticking with me through this marathon deep dive. I hope it sparks some new appreciation for these iconic monsters, because, as everyone knows, I love Star Wars monsters. If you learned something cool or got a laugh out of it, hit that like button and subscribe for more Star Wars breakdowns. And drop a comment with your favorite creature or theory. You can support the channel by going to joearchie.com and buying some art. And I will see you next time.